What's up, guys? This is Sam from SwordStyle Guitar, bringing to you today a lesson on marketing yourself and salesmanship in the music business. I'm at the beautiful Trump Towers on the Upper West Side, and I thought there's no better time than now to talk about marketing yourself, since that's exactly what I'm doing at the moment. As a musician, you are in direct competition with every other guitar player out there, whether you like it or not. Whether you're doing this as a hobby with your friends or you're doing it professionally, you are in direct competition with other people. So why would anybody choose you? Is the question that you need to ask yourself constantly. Is why would anybody want me over the next guy? What is it that I do that's special? And there's ways that you can convince people of this, because just playing well and being a nice guy is not enough to cut it. You have to package yourself, is the first tip I'll give you. Is create an image for yourself that nobody else has. You must create an image that you can develop and live with. Now, what that is you can imagine yourself to be anything. You can imagine yourself to be a grungy rocker. You can imagine yourself to be a gritty bluesman, a polished, shiny, clean, forward-thinking teacher. These are images that you can create, and you can attempt to work towards building that image for yourself. And as you do that, people will want in on that. That's why guys are so influential. Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Wes Montgomery, every one of those guys has an image. Whether or not they consciously created it, it's something that happened to them. And they did it very, very well. They did their thing very, very well. They didn't try and be a ton of other people. They just tried to go for their one thing and did it very well. The next suggestion I would have to say is learn how to be convincing. There's, for example, what I did in there, I'm going from building to building here and putting flyers up. And what I do is I lead the conversation. So, for instance, if somebody says, if you're just cold calling a place and you're just going in there and saying, hey, you need a guitar player, that's not the right attitude to have. You want to start with a series of questions you know they'll answer with a yes. It's a salesman tip I picked up from a guy named Zig Ziglar. So you'll go in there and you'll ask them, does this place record drum and bass music? Or does this place record, blues music? And then they'll say, yeah. And then you'll say, okay, do you have a lot of artists that come in here frequently to record? And they'll say, yeah, it's a recording studio. And then you'll say, oh, well, do you think they'll need a guitar player at some point to come and play on the record? And they'll be like, yeah, I don't see why not. Or you could even sweeten the deal and say, do you think they'll need a guitar player, with a lot of experience to come in and play? I have a ton of experience. I play in a bunch of different projects. Right now, I'm working with a gospel group in the Bronx. We're touring all over. And do you think they'll need somebody like me? And they'll say, yeah, I don't see why not. And then, they'll give you their contact information, and you can keep pushing from there. The second thing I would greatly advise, hang on one second. The second thing I would advise, rather the third, is to pick places that have, hang on one second, I gotta figure out how to get out of here. Hey, you know how this door works?
You better off using the side. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
It's only one way.
So you push down. I see. Alright, thanks.
Harry, let's go. Come here, boy. We gotta get the food.
Sorry about that. The third thing that you would like to focus on is create a list of your ideal bands, gig situations, new projects, places that you would like to work for. So you could pick out, 50 and do research in your area. So for example, if you're a reggae guitarist and you want to play in a reggae band, what you'll do is you will do research on the top 50 reggae bands in New York or wherever you're at. And what you'll do is you'll get their contact information, whether that's their booking agent, their manager, their email, their Twitter. You'll compile a list of their information, and then you'll go for it. You will fearlessly go through every single last one of their contact informations until you have a success. And if you don't get success by calling them immediately or showing up, you will repeat the process until you do have success. The fourth thing I would say would be get out there and play, or create a YouTube page, or create a sound cloud page, or some other page that showcases what you do. And you're going to want to be able to put that on your Facebook, on your Twitter, and link it up. You can have your business card printed with this stuff these days. Just anything that gets people connected to what you do. You want to have people being connected to what you do as a guitar player that makes you special, and that makes people want to hire you over the next guy. See, this is the pitfall of many players out there, is that they do not do one specific thing very well. If you're looking to be a jack of all trades type of guy, as in a studio artist, you still have to have a reputation. You still have to have a flavor. If you're going to get up into the upper echelons of recording with really solid people, you're going to want to be able to you're going to want to be able to have that thing that you do very well, that flavor. And to express that flavor, you're going to need to find a way to do that. If you're a band, this would be my fourth step. You need to be creative in ways that you can get gigs. This is a nice view, believe it or not. My camera doesn't pick it up well. You need to be creative in the way that you get gigs. In other words, you need to be able to think of your ideal gigging situation. Where would you love to play? And pick places that have a wide exposure, or just suit your needs in general. Maybe you want a place that pays more or something, and you could do the research. You could find places that seat a certain amount of players, festivals, whatever. This is my fourth tip, by the way. And you could get out there and find that for your band or your current gigging situation, because a lot of times, especially if the band, there's so many situations, like if the band leader won't hire a booking agent, or the booking agent isn't doing his job, you as a band need to wear different hats. So you can, from there, go and find other gigs and do the same thing. Compile a list and get it out there and go gig, because touring is probably the best way to get notoriety. And the final tip I'd say for marketing yourself the most important one is the final tip that you need to have for marketing yourself. I'm going to have to get back to you on it because I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. This will be a 2-part series, and I'll discuss it more at a future date. Have a good day, guys.